In this video, I'm going to go over order of operations, and I'm also going to go over how to find the area of a composite sheet. First, let's start with order of operations. If you see an expression that's a long string of numbers that have different operations inside of it, for example, subtraction, multiplication, subtracting a negative, division, subtraction, addition, there's a certain order you have to go about simplifying this expression. In that order, you might remember by please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. First, you're going to start by looking at anything in parentheses. Now, it might not just be in parentheses like this, it could also be in hard brackets that look like this. Any grouping of numbers. Then you're going to look for exponents. An example of an exponent would be 3 to the second power, which means I'm going to multiply the big number 3 by itself 2 times. Then you're going to be looking for any multiplication or division. Multiplication does not always come before division. They're on the same level, so you're going to tackle these from how they appear left to right. Then you're going to identify and simplify any addition or subtraction. Addition does not always come before subtraction. They're on the same level, so you're going to tackle these how they appear from left to right, or you can just make a scoreboard and tackle them all in one step. This is the part of order of operations where you can finally simplify double signs. You can't simplify double signs too early, or you may screw up the problem. All right, let's go over how to use please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which is really known as order of operations, to solve these two problems. First, is there anything in parentheses? Well, yeah, there's -9 in parentheses, but there's nothing to do inside of those parentheses. So we're all set there. There's no exponents, but I do see the multiplication, and there's no division, so I'm going to work on the multiplication first. This is really -2 times 8. Now, -2 times +8 is a -16. So when I rewrite this, I have 11 minus 16 minus -9. Now I'm at the point where I'm in addition and subtraction. And when I'm in addition and subtraction, I can do it from left to right, and I can simplify double signs. So I'm going to simplify double signs first. If you look here, I have 2 negative symbols, and a negative is a positive. So I'm going to rewrite this as 11 minus 16 plus 9, which is really positive 11 minus 16 plus 9. Now I could add and subtract from left to right, but instead I'm going to do it in one step using a scoreboard. Let's see, positive team earns 11 points. Negative team earns 16 points. Positive team earns 9 points. The score is 16 to 20. And positives win by 4 points. The answer is +4. All right, next one. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, otherwise known as order of operations. Is there anything to do inside of parentheses? Yes, this time there is something to simplify inside of parentheses. We have -4 minus 3. -4 minus 3 is -7. So I'm going to rewrite this as 70 divided by -7 plus 60. Done with parentheses. There's still parentheses here, but there's nothing to do inside of them, so I'm done with parentheses. There's no exponents. There's no multiplication, but there is some division, so I'm going to work on that division first. This is 70 divided by -7, which is 70 divided by -7, which is a -10, plus 60. Now I'm on the addition subtraction phase. I'm just going to make a scoreboard. I have a -10 and a +60. Positives win by how much? 50. My answer is +50. Next, I'm going to show you how to calculate the area of a composite figure. Now, a composite figure is a figure that takes two or more basic shapes and smushes them together to create an irregular shape. But to find the area of a composite figure, split the shape back up into shapes you recognize and find the area of all of those little shapes and then add them together. For example, I could split this up right here. What shapes do I recognize? Well, this shape right here I recognize right away as being a rectangle. And this shape over here, it's a rectangle, but actually more specifically, it's a square. So let's identify all the sides here. If this is 10, what would this side of the rectangle be? Well, I know that this side of the square is 3, so I know this is 3 over on this side. This whole thing's 5, so what would this side of the rectangle be? It would have to be 2, right? Because 3 centimeters plus 2 centimeters would create that whole 5 centimeter side. So now I'm going to find the area of these two basic shapes. The area of a rectangle is area equals length times width, which we just discovered is 10 times 2, which is 20 centimeters squared. Then the area of a square, we could also do length times width if we wanted to because it's also a rectangle. So that's 3 times 3, which is 9 centimeters squared. Then looking at this whole shape, what would the area or the inside of the whole shape be? Well, it'd be 20 centimeters squared plus 9 centimeters squared, and I'd have 29 centimeters squared. All right, ask me in class if you have any questions, and I wish you the best of luck.